and welcome to Atop the Fourth Wall, where bad comics burn. With the infinite possibilities presented by superheroes, people often wonder about stories that, well, just can't work because of continuity. For example, one might wonder what would happen if Batman had been chosen to be Green Lantern instead of Hal Jordan. Or how about if Batman was a vampire? Or if Batman was actually Superman? Yeah, there are a lot of these with Batman. The point is, DC occasionally produces a book with the Elseworlds imprint. Elseworlds are what happens when you take well-known superheroes and put them in new and different situations. Sometimes they can be interesting, never-before-thought ideas that actually stand out, like Superman Red Sun. Or they can be incredibly horrible and nonsensical, like Superman at Earth's End. Which is why today we're digging into JLA Act of God, an Elseworlds tale where superheroes lose their powers. Interesting premise, incredibly awful execution.
Welcome to Atop the Fourth Wall, where bad comics burn. Linkar's gonna teach you all a lesson you won't learn. Brodsky, you're not the smartest. Life out, you're not an artist. Anyone who's had a bad comic published, it could be your turn. Linkara, he's a man punch, wears a pretty hat. Linkara, he has a magic gun. Where'd he purchase that? Linkara, coins, robots, Amazon and trucks. Linkara, this comic sucks. Linkara. He said, tell me all your thoughts on God.
The cover's pretty good, with superheroes having fallen thanks to the mysterious light in the center. It instantly draws you in and wants you to know what's going on, plus shows a nice variety of heroes. We open to the giant looming figures of Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman, Green Lantern, and the Flash overlooking the Earth with a gorgeous ray of sunshine coming across the planet. Or maybe that's actually Spock's torpedo from the end of Star Trek II. Quick, someone start playing Amazing Grace! Actually, I love how much in the background Kyle Rayner is, like he's trying to peek over Batman's shoulder. It is the 23rd of May, the dawning of a new millennium, and soon a new order. The Babylon Project was a dream given form. But right now, for a brief time longer, everything is still the same. Still normal. Well, as normal as a planet that features talking gorillas, aliens, and guys who dress up like bats can be. We see a montage of heroes across the world. Superman is helping seal a dam that's about to burst, the Flash is stopping a thief who's about to shoot a cop, and Green Lantern is about to stop a supervillain named Sonar from attacking a bank. Metamorpho doing some archaeological digging, Captain Marvel saving a crumbling building, and finally Starfire and, someone I don't recognize facing off against a couple of supervillains. All of a sudden, the entire planet is flashed in black light for a mere second. As soon as the light clears, everyone with superpowers instantly loses them. Captain Marvel reverts to his young Billy Batson form just in time to get out of the way of a wall crashing, and Metamorpho even turns back into a human. The event also crashes technology for a second as well. Millions cried out in horror as their torrents stopped working. Actually, the effects are a bit more serious, as Steel's suit completely fails and he crashes to the ground. Aquaman suddenly finds himself drowning and can't call any of the ocean life for help. The Flash loses his speed and the cop gets shot, though doing so while having the goofiest expression on his face, making this horrifying moment suddenly really funny. Good job, artist. Superman is swept up in the bursting dam since he can't fly or use super strength to seal it. With Kyle's ring disabled, Sonar manages to just beat the snot out of him and make off with what he stole from the bank. Oh, and get a load of the ungrateful dicks who suddenly yell at Superman, who's obviously bleeding and trapped under some rubble. Superman, why didn't you save us? Yeah, why didn't you do something? Are we suddenly in the Marvel Universe? If I saw friggin' Superman suddenly injured and trapped, I'd probably try to help him before I started the insane bitching. At the bar of Guy Gardner, then former Green Lantern, and then former superhero named Warrior...
Load the spaceship with the rocket fuel! Load it with the worst!
Damn it, not that Warrior! They speculate about what may have caused the event. The scene is utterly pointless. Steel survived his fall but was taken to the hospital. Booster Gold and Blue Beetle also survived the incident and talk about all the heroes gathering at the JLA watchtower on the moon. Aquaman goes to see the Martian Manhunter, who's stuck in his Martian form and can't shapeshift. That's something we'll get to in a minute, but what really makes me raise an eyebrow is that Aquaman expresses fear for his people in Atlantis. After all, he's the king, so what happened to all the native water breathers of the city? Beats the hell out of me, since that's the last time in this entire mini-series where they're brought up. We don't even get a token mention of Aquaman's friggin' wife. Anyway, the superheroes of the DC Universe have assembled at the Watchtower. Superman lost a whole town. Lost a whole town? We just saw him and the town 4 pages ago. People were yelling at him for no good reason. Naturally, the heroes start throwing out theories and important questions, like what if this was the prelude to an invasion? The next important question is where all the supernatural or mystical heroes are, like the Spectre, Dr. Fate, or Zoriel. The answer is that they're all missing, which begs the question of why the hell Wonder Woman is among those in the crowd, considering her powers are mystical in nature. For that matter, Red Tornado is also among the crowd. Sure, he's a robot, but what some writers forget is that he's also an air elemental, meaning that another mystical character is still around despite others not being. Weird, isn't it? Anyway, Steel brings up the obvious. While they look for a solution or a cause to the power disruption, tech-based or martial arts-based superheroes are now the only ones capable of fending off criminals. Batman leads the charge, organizing non-powered heroes and getting Oracle, former Batgirl Barbara Gordon, and best hacker and information gatherer in the world to help the investigation. The Martian Manhunter is strangely pessimistic about all of this.
Until then, our loss may or may not be permanent, but if it is, we'll have to learn to cope with it. In time, answers will be found. And maybe not. Maybe some purpose will be revealed. Maybe not. Maybe I'll put salami on my sandwich. And maybe not.
I mean, come on, guys. It's only been a day or two and you're already acting as if this is the end of the world as you know it. And herein lies the first major problem of this miniseries. An idiot plot describes stories wherein the plot only works because all of the characters are idiots. This is such an occasion. JLA, Act of God, only works because all of the characters are morons, and rather whiny, irritating morons at that. If this were a story arc in an in-canon comic, every scientific person on the planet will be working around the clock to search for a solution, would be contacting known sources for any kind of information or seek solutions to this. Now, some resources would be unavailable, like the Green Lantern Corps, because at this point in comics history, the Corps didn't exist and was only Kyle Rayner. However, they're also supposed to be aided by the new gods, whose technological mastery is far superior to Earth's, and we don't even get a cameo of one of them, or any of the superheroes of the new gods that live on Earth. And here's our first example of idiocy from the Martian Manhunter.
And maybe, just maybe, this will all prove to be a change for the better.
The Flash asks the natural question. How could it possibly be that, Jean?
I don't pretend to know, Flash.
Then why the hell did you bring it up, Green Jeans?
But perhaps no one should have powers above and beyond the rest of humanity. Perhaps it's not normal.
That's right, people. Don't have anything unique or special about you. Perhaps it's not
normal. We were extra normal, supra-normal, maxi-extreme, ultra-normal. And perhaps it wasn't right.
Martian Manhunter, your entire species was telepathic and could shapeshift. That was normal for you! Anyway, Flash once again questions the Manhunter's idiotic speech. You're saying we were wrong, Jean? After all the people we helped? The lives we saved?
Lives are saved every day by those without powers. By doctors, police, firemen, rescue workers, the clergy.
Yeah, but that doesn't negate his point. Not everybody is a firefighter or a doctor. Regardless of their powers, they were still heroes. The Manhunter laments the fact that he could finally understand humanity and be a part of it.
Well, if only I weren't trapped in this bizarre Martian form.
Hold the phone there, Jolly Green Giant. You're calling your own race bizarre-looking? As they wait for information, the Manhunter suggests that they all be available via telephone.
Some of us won't like this, but we're all friends here and all in the same boat now. I suggest it's time to share full trust. In fact, I suggest we conclude this meeting by shedding our secret identities with a full exchange of names and numbers.
Yeah, good idea, Jean! Wait, don't you all have specialized communicators like JLA signal devices? If not, how the hell did all these people know there was a meeting at the watchtower? For that matter, what the hell phone service are you using on the moon? We cut to Kyle Rayner's apartment, where he's throwing a complete hissy fit over the loss of his power ring. I notice he doesn't go to his friends in the JLA and tell them, "Say, my ring isn't working either. Maybe you guys can scan it and see if anything's wrong with it." His girlfriend, Jade, tries to reassure him that losing his powers isn't the end of the world, but instead Kyle decides to start sculpting a clay statue of Sonar. You know, Kyle's been defeated before, even with the ring, so I'm not entirely clear why this particular incident has him so incensed, especially since, again, it's only been a day or two since the thing stopped working. And here's where we run into the next major problem of this book. This comic makes no sense when you actually stop and think about what